Hi everyone! Although the structure of this fugue subject seems ambiguous, Bartok appears to have composed it around familiar tonal characteristics common to earlier fugal works, but has hidden these features amongst chromatic elements. Bartok orients each entry's melodic material to the subject's initial note. The work's initial subject entry, for example, begins on A, and the second entry on E. Although these two entries also conclude with the same note as they began, the third entry, beginning on D, and many of the work's other entries lack this return. The second and third entries also are transpositions of the initial entry, creating real answers. The use of real answers is not continued in all entries, however, with some having either or both their melodic and rhythmic material altered or truncated. Later I'll discuss how Bartok organises the fugue's entries, but will now, using as an exemplar the fugue's first subject entry, talk more about the subject's structure. The subject is divided into 4 phrases, each separated by eighth note rests. While there are rhythmic and melodic similarities between some phrases, the third and fourth phrases, for example, both begin with a minor third leap, and the first and second begin with the same 3-note combination, there appears to be no discernible pattern within or across all phrases. The combination of eighth and quarter notes through the phrases also appears to lack any regularity. Looking at the intervals between the notes, however, we see that a pattern emerges, with the third and fourth phrases both using the same 6-interval pattern, and the first and second phrases using a 4-interval pattern. In the second phrase, the 4-interval pattern is overlapped, with the minor second between the notes D and E flat sounding the final minor second of the first 4-interval group, and the first minor second of the second group. This method of indicating intervals using numbers, with the single semitone of a minor second indicated by 1, the 2 semitones of a major second by 2, the 3 semitones of a minor third by 3, and so on, doesn't distinguish between enharmonic equivalents. The augmented seconds and minor thirds, for example, are here all indicated with a 3. Use of this method therefore can be more effective in revealing intervallic patterns, which may be obscured when using the more conventional labelling. Looking at the intervals reveals minor thirds are used more frequently through the first 2 phrases, where they appear within chromatic fragments, while their use in the final phrases is as an opening gesture, which then moves through chromaticism to conclude with 2 major seconds connected by a minor second. The most common recurring interval combination through the subject then is the 3-1-1 combination of a minor third followed by 2 minor seconds. As we've seen, this interval combination begins the final 2 phrases and is found close to the beginnings of the first and second phrases, only preceded there by minor seconds. While the 3-1-1 interval combination is not diatonic to any major or minor scale, the 1-3-1 combination used at the beginnings of phrases 1 and 2 is found in the harmonic minor scale and its modes. The A, B flat, C sharp combination of notes beginning the first and second phrases, together with the subject's orientation to A, therefore, may be heard as part of an A Phrygian dominant mode. Which is initially introduced by its first 3 notes in the first phrase, then its first 4 notes in the second. And near the beginning of the third phrase, the mode's 5th degree is reached, which is also the subject's highest point. Inclusion of the 5th degree creates the characteristic relationship found in many earlier fugues between a key's 1st and 5th degrees. In the 4th phrase, a stepwise descent back to the mode's 2nd degree is filled in with E flat and C natural notes. Within the subject's perfect 5th range, between A and E, Bartok uses the following 8 chromatic notes, excluding these 4 on F and G. A further structural element has the subject's E note being framed by 8 eighth note beats, leading to E flat, which in both instances is approached by a minor third leap from C. As we'll see, in relation to A, E-flat has special significance in this work, which when combined with the other features creates a fugue subject which sounds modern but is based on the fugues of the past. As mentioned earlier, throughout the fugue, Bartok may alter or truncate the melodic contour and or the rhythm of the subject entries. For the fugue's fifth subject entry, for example, Bartok adds an extra eighth note rest between the subject's first and second phrases. After the initial subject entries on A and E, which follows the intervallic relationship of tonic and dominant common to many earlier fugue subjects, Bartok establishes a different subject entry pattern, which from the central A note ascends and descends in fifths to eventually reach E-flat in bar 56. The notes of the ascending and descending pattern of subject entries outlines the A Lydian and A Locrian modes, connecting them with the notes A and E-flat. After the E-flat entry in bar 56, Bartok reverses through some of the subject entry order, with several entries used in inversion and in stretto. From bar 77, inverted, truncated and standard entries on A are combined in various ways to conclude the work with this final dual entry, using a version of the standard entry combined with its inversion. In this way, across the work's duration, Bartok's subject entries move from A to E-flat and back, a move reflected in the A subject structure. This relationship between two notes separated by a tritone has been described by some theorists as the most fundamental structural principle in Bartok's music. Described by Lenvai as the pole-counterpole relationship, which forms part of what's been termed the axis system, the pole-counterpole of two notes such as A and E-flat may be heard as the principal branch, which also includes a secondary branch, which in this example would sound the notes F-sharp and C. Within this fugue, as well as the notes A and E-flat of the principal branch receiving special significance, Bartok also highlights the subject entries using the secondary notes C and F-sharp. In bars 26 and 27, for example, he uses C and F-sharp subject entries in stretto, the first time stretto is used in the fugue. And beginning in bar 64, C and F-sharp subject fragments are used. As we've seen, while the pole-counterpole relationship is not completely integrated into the subject structure, with Bartok excluding F notes, the notes A and E-flat are structurally important, and the note C is also featured. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.